Finally, it is done. Mathys Tel has made the smart decision. He has chosen Man United over Arsenal. Meanwhile, it looks so bad and scary for Lisandro Martinez. Guys, I've got the bad news and the good news. I don't know where I should start, but being that in 2025 I chose to be positive, I'll start with the good news. Subscribe to the United Sport and let's get it. Now, you must wonder, why on earth is Webb smiling when we've just lost a game at home? Listen, they lost to a Crystal Palace that plays a similar system to Ruben Amorim with with players who have played it longer. Cannot really shock me and upset me, especially if you're playing at home with these players that Amorim is struggling to get to understand how he wants to play, but also players who get jittery playing at home. Honestly, a team like Crystal Palace, you saw their wing-backs, they certainly had to somehow stretch us, but we tried to match them, by the way, especially in the first half. United tried. Let me first pause the game for a bit and give you the breaking one, because Mathys Tel has told Bayern Munich that he wants to join Man United with immediate effect. He has chosen Manchester United over Bayern Munich, rather over staying at Bayern Munich, yeah, but also over Arsenal. Now, here is the trick though. That does not surprise me, because I told you in my previous video that there is no way Arsenal can beat Man United when it comes to a serious matter, a serious issue. They don't beat us on serious issues. They never do. This is a serious issue, because you saw how Ruben Amorim was forced to even start with Kobe Mainoo as a false nine. The lack of strikers, the two guys we have as strikers are just pretenders. They are not good enough, at least not not now. So Tel has got a big part to play in what Amorim is trying to do. So Mathys Tel has told Bayern Munich he wants to join United with immediate effect, but the issue is immediately United goes to Bayern with the first bid of a loan and an option to buy. I told you it was expected to be about 40-45 million pounds that United would put in the option to buy. Bayern are saying they rejected it. They are saying they want a loan with an obligation to buy. Bayern want an obligation or a permanent sale, an immediate permanent sale. So that's where the complexity comes. And of course, now the back and forth has got to go on. Their two parties are still in serious talks. They are still trapped in conversations. And I'm trying to check and see if there could be an update. But the thing is, Man United now are trapped in conversations to try and get that deal to the end of the line before the deadline. That will be tomorrow night. So certainly for me, it's a major update. The deal is advancing so fast. Man United do want to see if they can get him. If not, they try to look at other options before the close of the window. That's why they will be pushing to see this deal done and dusted today. You clearly saw where Mathys Tel fits in the Man United team. Now, leaving that at that, as we continue to follow and keep track of that story. Guys, Lisandro Martinez injury, even Amorim has confirmed it looks serious, worrying, scary. Anything you can run out of words to describe it, because it's dangerous, because you saw what he did. Immediately he indicated to be substituted and pulled off. And Martinez is such a character, personality, not just the player, but even in the dressing room. Amorim is saying he's a very important player. He psychs that he's a World Cup winner, and he indicated that he has, I think, injured. I think one of his previous injuries perhaps could have recurred. Remember, he has always suffered with that left foot. Now, the way he stamped it on the ground and in an altercation with a big player like that, certainly you expected a reaction. Now, Amorim says it's dangerous. It looks for me like his season could be done. Now, that you don't want to hear, especially if you bring in the Dogos to improve the squad. And immediately, when Dogo is signing his contract until 2030 with an option of a further 1 year, Lisandro Martinez is walking out. I think for Amorim, if you're the manager, you're thinking, is this a cursed club? Like my friend Keke loves to say, is this riba? Is it a curse on the club? Because it's not good at all. But let's wait and hope we can find solutions. But it looks ugly. The guy was dropping tears. Martinez is the butcher. He's the macho guy in Man United. He doesn't cry like that. He was dropping tears. So it's terrible. But that's why we are now. Speaking of terrible, Andre Onana is terribly heavy. Let me say this. Andre Onana is heavy. And it's sad. Because the first goal, you can say he tried to, ball hits the crossbar, he goes down. Another goalkeeper would try to get up in time, because that ball, the tap in from the rebound by Mateta, was not so far from him, but he did not even try to get up and get it, because he was too heavy and had just hit himself on the ground, that he couldn't. A goalkeeper at that level should be getting up on his feet first, at least to attempt to save the ball, even if not to probably get it. So for me, I thought that again was another expose about Onana and a weakness in his game. And secondly, the second goal again reminds me of Fabian Barthez. You remember I told you the West Ham FA Cup when we were knocked out, where it was an offside. It was, I think, either I forget the player, but instead of first saving the ball, then you complain it's an offside. He plays he asks to be the referee, pauses, lifts his hand up and stands, and the guy just gets the ball in the back of the net and it's counted. It's a goal. Now for Onana, you even have VAR and about 8 referees or assistants focused on that. First save the ball and then wait for VAR to do its job. Onana is in his last days if he doesn't step it up. Onana is in trouble. It's looking ugly. You don't do such when you've got a Anatel Binding on the bench trying to get your number. And you see, after that second goal, there is no way United was coming back. It was done and dusted. So for me, Onana is havoc. Everything else, I won't drag on the performance of the team. I think in the first half, United tried to even it out. They had their attempts, none on target maybe, but they had their attempts. But you would see that Crystal Palace were definitely a better team in this system. The players were more comfortable in it, but Man United were just trying to cope, which they did. But eventually, they lost. And again, the nerves Man United face playing at home. The nerves are always there. They're always jittery. And again, we saw it. But I won't dwell in that. I won't even rate the players. For me, the beauty is the progress when it comes to Mathys Tel, that even in this situation, when Arsenal are leading against Man City, Tel chooses Man United over them. It shows you that big is big. But finally, when Patrick Dogu was signing for Man United, the first statements he made, he says he's amazed and excited about the vision that Ruben Amorim has got for Man United. Now, you understand why these players, when Amorim speaks to them, they can't think twice. They just have to choose Man United, because you've got a manager who can convince players and sell them a vision despite the struggles they see currently. That's how promising Amorim is being in charge of Man United. Let's wait and see how it will all go, but that's where we are. United is 13th now. For this season in the Premier League, we are just playing to stay and survive. No one really cares. The whole point is don't get relegated, which I don't think will happen. The Champions League football, United can still win the Europa League, because we are still among the favorites. We haven't lost a game. Win the Europa League and you're back in the Champions League. So for me, there is hope for the season. Let us not be dampened in terms of the mood because of this result against a Crystal Palace team that we definitely know is better than us at this system. So guys, there is a lot to be expectant about. Don't you lose the energy and the hope. Wait for Mathys Tel. The talks are going on. We are advancing. It's a matter of time. Subscribe. Let me catch you in just a bit. Cheers.